Well, hello everyone. This is Lawrence making another thrift store CD music finds. Just a continuing series of videos I'm making of great discoveries at thrift stores of music CDs, and I've got a number of them already posted on this YouTube page if you want to go back and review them after watching this one and you're interested to see what I got. So I took out a bundle here. I got a big backlog of CDs I like to show off on my YouTube channel, and so I'm getting them out, a bit at a time, making all these videos before putting them in the main library. And so, go back and look at the old ones and after viewing this current one. Okay, so I pulled them all, what I want to show out, and I actually took the booklets out of the jewel cases so it'll cut down on glare. And we got a variety of different genres, musical styles, rock, pop, folk, new age, disco, even disco, R&B, blues. So let's get started. I got a little itch right here. Okay. Um, the first one is part of the 20th Century Master Series right here, and of the Grassroots, and they had a number of hits, I think, in the very late 60s and early 70s, like Temptation Eyes. Oh, great picture of the group on the back there in the studio recording their songs. Um, Good pictures inside. Yeah, that's pretty neat. Right here. Oh, yes. Check that out. And of course, this entire CD is good, but Midnight Confessions was one of the big hits. Let's Live for Today, uh, Temptation Eyes. Of course, they were the big charts hits. You got written text, the listings of the songs, who wrote them, where they debuted on the charts. So the Grassroots, part of the 20th Century Masters. How many songs are on here? Let's check. 12. 12. So this would be a nice stepping stone into getting a like an anthology grassroots collection. Um, the next artist is a greatest hits of Peter Frampton, and of course we all know Frampton had the big Frampton Comes Alive album, the largest selling live album ever. And if you were around at like 75, 76, 77, that album was like issued to you. It was everywhere, on the radio, friend's house, you play it. It was great. But this is a, whoa, things are falling off here. A greatest hits collection, 14 songs. And this is very, minimum packaging, a write up. And I would imagine most of the songs that charted were Frampton Comes Alive. So I haven't listened to this yet. So I'm hoping it's the live version instead of the studio versions. Frampton Comes Alive, was just a phenomenal album. It was Frampton performed live selections from his studio albums, and just really, really did great live versions and put it together in an album. 1979, Get the Knack. And if you were around then, a teenager, Um, my Sharon, I always have a hard time pronouncing this hit. Um, my Sharana, okay, was a huge, huge, huge number one hit at the time when disco was reaching its commercial peak. We had a great pop rock song go to the top of the charts. Uh, this is a very good album. Okay, um, Let Me Out, Your Name or Number, Oh Tara, She's So Selfish, Maybe Tonight, and it goes on. Good Girls Don't, which got radio play, and Frustration, and My Sharana. Those were the three hits, and they were kind of compared to the Beatles. I mean, look at that pose there. Uh, I got a chance to um, see the Knack live at a later reunion concert in my hometown of Norfolk, Virginia. They played a show on the battleship Wisconsin, which is docked next to Nauticus Maritime Museum facility. And the ship has since been given to the city of Norfolk for a tourist attraction. Anyway, they played the upper deck, and they sounded great, right on. And I brought my album with me along with the 45 cover of my Sharana, and along with a Sharpie. And after show, they gracefully sign the album and 45 jacket, all four members. Unfortunately, back then we didn't have the cell phones with the cameras to take selfies, so I didn't get a picture. Okay, moving right along. This is a often offbeat label. It's called Starry Starry Night. This is a two CD set of live performances of Don McLean, uh, classic concert in Austin, Texas. And this must have been in the late 90s. And Don is such a really engaging live performer. He communicates with the audience, really well, telling little stories and all that. And the band he put together is fantastic. Although, his hit making days are over, a lot of people kind of forgot about him except for American Pie. But I think Vincent is really my favorite song of his. I mean, American Pie is great, but Vincent is just very heartbreaking. So, a two CD set, Don McLean live. Another artist who was huge, huge, huge in the 1970s is, of course, John Denver. And this is Behind the Music put together. You're familiar with Behind the Music documentaries of artists, music artists, and they did one of John Denver, and there was always a Behind the Music compilation collection put together from that series, and this contains all of John's hits from the 70s. I think someone's getting up downstairs, so I was a bit distracted. Um, I love John Denver. Okay, I mean, and he was huge. He was very, very popular. He had a lot of top 10 hits and a few number one, songs as well. And some critics kind of poo-pooed him, and propped up James Taylor, but I absolutely love John Denver. His voice, his songs were so optimistic, and he was singing about the environment right there. Um, I have John Denver's Greatest Hits Volume 2, but this is Volume 3. Um, his popularity, you know, in the record sales and charts went down after the 70s, but he still created some great music in the 80s and 90s. And Greatest Hits Volume 3 contains a lot of that, you know, most of it. And songs like How Can I Leave You Again, Some Days Are Diamonds, Some Days Are Stones, Shangri-La Breezes, um, Wild Mountain Skies, I Want to Live, The God and Beyond, and Autograph. Just fantastic, kind of overlooked later day career music of John Denver. Um, the late 70s, early 80s saw a different type of music, kind of, you know, electronic drums and synthesizers were all over the place. New wave, I think they called it. And the guy who had a big hit, Thomas Dolby, She Blinded Me by Science. Well, this is the golden age of wireless right there, kind of the future, okay? And I don't know if this is the actual album that had Blind Me by Science, or if this is just a collection put together of his best work. But anyway, I got it, and it's interesting to go beyond a one-hit wonder and listen to other stuff they've done. And this is pretty good. I mean, it's okay. Didn't blow me away, but I love Blind Me by Science. It has humor, kind of futuristic look, spin, in a humorous way on things. One of the big groups from the disco era was Chic, and this album here, Real People, uh, came out. What year did it come out? 1980, about the time disco was dying, and this got lukewarm reviews, but I still picked it up for $1. I haven't listened to it, so I'm looking forward to that. Of course, Neil Rogers went on to produce, and prior to the Chic fame, he produced other artists, and he continued that work in that capacity with other artists, particularly David Bowie with the Let's Dance album. Let's see. Oh, yeah, this one fell on the floor. Brenda Russell is a soul and rhythm blues singer, very, very talented. And this is her self-titled album. This came out in 1988. This is a great freaking album. If you see it, get it. I actually got it on vinyl. That's how I first um, came aware of this album. And the big hit is a Piano in the Dark. Just beautiful, kind of quiet storm sound to it. It's just amazing. And there's the back picture there. And I've since picked up a few other of her albums, which are good, but not as good as that one. Okay, we're reaching the near the end here, and my videos seem to run a bit long because I just like talking about what I found. Okay, it just gave you a summary. This is a later day BB King release. I'm looking for. That's a problem when you take them out. 1991, right here. BB King, and this is called There Is Always One More Time. And this got good reviews in All Music and other publications. And right there, this is a very good album. I haven't had a chance to, I just skimmed through it. I haven't had a chance to give it a deep listen. the Martin Scorsese presents the best of the blues right here. Um, Martin Scorsese did a documentary on blues music, but it wasn't a Ken Burns type of beginning to end nuts and bolts. He just took certain storylines for his series and for each episode, and I recommend that you seek it out and find it. Maybe they have it at your public library, or you can get it online. Um, but this is a collection of the artists who appeared in that documentary. This one, the Allman Brothers, Eric Clapton, Jimi Hendrix, Sunhouse, Robert Johnson, B.B. King, J.B. Lenore, Taj Mahal, Como, Betsy Smith, Stevie Ray Vaughan, and Muddy Waters. So good selection. Very good text inside. Pictures. And that's the thing about collecting CDs. You get the booklet. You actually get the music put on a physical form in your hands instead of just being in the clouds or streaming. Um, so it's nice to have a collection. Um, Al Green, one of his big hit in the album too. Let's Stay Together. Al Green actually came back in the 2000s and released a series of excellent album that had the old school feel of his early works, but very minimalistic. This is just a standard issue, but I'm glad to have the music. Al Green, with his voice, he kind of reinvented soul singing, you know. Um, we're getting to the bottom here. Um, this is put out on a European, offbeat European label, and 2 CD set edition with rare photographs, but the book is very skimmy. But 2 CD collection of John Lee Hooker, his best known tracks, and some buried songs from his um, uh, from his catalog put together. The sound quality is so and so, a little, high tinny, but for 50 cents, I could not turn it down. And John Lee Hooker is very interesting, his career, because he had really a good career revival in a later part of his life. And he performed with all the current artists of the day, like in that later part, like Eric Clapton, Jim Keltner, Santana. I'm looking for other names. Bonnie Raitt, of course. Van Morrison, on various albums. Well, with this collection here, they took all those collaborations with the artists I just mentioned and put it together on 1 CD. And this was on the um, Point Blank label he was on. John Lee Hooker did some really good work at later part of his career. And his last album is fantastic. Okay, 3 more CDs to show. I got this some time ago, Carole King's The Living Room Tour. Okay. It's just a kind of a career retrospective of her work on a tour she did with on the stage was set up in the living room put to give it a very intimate feel with just a minimum amount of musicians, but it was Carole King performing all her hits, and some deeper album tracks, 2 CDs. Okay, I think it's yeah, it is 2 CDs, and she does a medley of her songs. Oh yeah, there's the living room setting right there. It has more pictures with the booklet you get, the credits. So very cool. And then something related. This came out in 2010, about 5 years later. Carole King and James Taylor live at the Troubadour. And this has just 1 CD of music, but a DVD of the concert. And got the price. I don't think I paid a lot for that. Um, so I haven't gave my full attention to this. I kind of just spot listen. And lastly, um, it still has the price tag over the title, but uh, uh, Track Records, the Guess Who collection, 2 CD collection of their hits and deeper album tracks and a little bit later works. So this is really cool. I want to thank you all for watching this video, and if you like stuff I've been finding, please check out my other videos, and please also consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. It's it's all about music and collectibles I find, and whatever else strikes my fancy. I also do a review of Elton John's music for a Facebook page called Elton John the Elton Night, so there's videos on there as well. I want to wish everyone a happy new year that's coming up, and stay safe. It's getting to be a bit scary world out there, so we got to look out after each other. Thank you for watching, and have a great day. Have a great new year. Bye-bye.